Oh.
This is my second prickly pear margarita, so tonight's going to be really fun.
I mean, when in Arizona.
When in Arizona, do as the Arizonans do. Welcome to MotoMouths, the podcast for MotoGP, motorsports, and more. I'm your host, Zoe, and what's up with you?
I'm your other host, also named Zoe, who's not making a joke about Phoenix.
I'm in Phoenix.
Guys, did you know Zoe's in Phoenix?
What's happening?
Well, okay, here's the thing. With MotoGP, we're at the end of test 1, and we've got test 2 coming up. How I've structured this right now is we're doing a roses and thorns of test 1.
Love roses and thorns.
And at the top of the list, we have, of our roses, Alex Marquez and Ducati, I think, is the rose.
Here's the thing. Doesn't he really love this track just to begin with?
Yes. Zoe, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Notice how I forgot which track it was, but I remembered that factoid.
You didn't have to tell us that part. You could have just rested on your laurels on that one. Actually, laurels, speaking of Olympics, laurels, that's what they would wear when they won games in Greece.
Yeah, you have they have laurels in MotoGP currently still.
Yeah, but like ones. They don't really do them anymore.
I love a laurel, it must be said.
Anyways, Alex Marquez does love Sepang. This is where this test is. And all of that to say, he was fastest at Sepang by a long shot over the course of this test. He, I think, at the same time had the fastest overall lap, and then his sprint simulation was like stunning. And he also mentioned that he left time on the table for that. So big up, not only for Alex. One, I think, like, looking at his contract conversations, like a really strong testing showing is great. 2, we know he loves this track, taking advantage of knowing this track really well, liking it. It works for him. And clearly the bike is working with him as well. I think it's just a great showing for him. And then 3, it has a lot of good things to say about Ducati and where Ducati is right now.
Yes.
Because here's the lower bullet point.
Sub-point.
If you look at the sprint sims, Pecco had a really solid one, kind of just below Alex, and then Marc was a couple seconds slower. So obviously, we know Marc doesn't love this track. We know Alex and Pecco do. And overall, it looks like the Ducati is working for all 3 of them in a variety of ways.
Great.
Which is like sickening.
Great news for us personally.
What's fun about this is that we have another like third-party perspective on this from the man, the myth, the legend, Jorge Lorenzo.
Welcome to the Jorge Jower.
The Jorge Jower.
The Jorge Power Jower.
JLo specifically mentioned, he was like, Ducati looks really good. They look the most stable of every manufacturer on the grid right now, which means that Ducati has figured out some of their front end issues.
I love the most unstable men calling things stable.
And you're so right. And you should say that. He's crazy.
I love when the most unstable men opine on stability.
Yeah, he's crazy. Speaking of JLo being crazy, great segue. Another rose of this week is Maverick Vinales basically saying, hey, I know a lot of other people are getting used to like the weird feeling here. I actually am having a really great time because Jorge Lorenzo has had me racing in shit conditions and practicing on like ancient tires all winter. So I came here and I'm like, this shit is great. And everyone else is like, this pedestrian motherfucker has been racing on cold, dead tires and now gets to come to a test being like, actually, this is really great. Why are you complaining?
When my dad first tried to teach me how to ride a bike, it was on the hottest day of the year, and he took me to a church parking lot where the asphalt was melting. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's hot. It burns if I fall off. And he's like, then don't fall off.
And your dad and Jorge Lorenzo have a lot in common.
That's what I'm saying.
And also with Jorge's dad. Crazy how that works.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the wildest thing about this, I've talked about this before. I think Jorge's dad Chicho has some like insane coaching philosophies. And now watching that like trickle down to Maverick Vinales is an experience.
He's making Maverick Vinales like run through sprinkler, like he's holding the hose up. You know what it is? It's in Stick It when Burt Reynolds is driving around on the lawnmower and they're like riding in circles and he's like, we're gonna go until Haley participates.
It's actually worse than that because essentially what they do is J-Lo puts Maverick on a bike and then I don't know, there's like maybe a 6 foot like figure eight and he'll tape it out.
Mhm.
And he basically says, go do that on a bike for 4 hours and stay within the tape of the figure eight.
I would kill myself.
Jorge Lorenzo said, we are not breaking this cycle. In fact, we are continuing it.
He said Geneva Conventions who?
He said, we did get this from Mossad. It's a true statement. Don't
quote me on that.
Don't quote me on that. Another Rose, I kind of alluded to it, but Pecco is feeling confident as he always is right before he flops. So grain of salt.
He is the rose in Beauty and the Beast that is actively losing flowers.
Right. Blooming, but losing petals.
The petal is slowly falling.
He has kind of been very vague, but has told the press that he thinks his 2025 issues are pretty gone. This is also kind of like corroborated by Fabio Di Gianantonio being like, yeah, this bike is fucking great and like not at all like the bike we had last year. And he's more confident in the front end specifically, which is where Pecco had issues. Digia is a lot more tentative about it. And he basically was like, things feel good, feels like the problems are gone, feels a lot more predictable. I will wait until we get to the first race of the season and then I'll make my call. And I'm like, sure, why not? Those are all the roses.
Okay.
Now we're getting into thorns.
Okay.
Toprak, I am describing as a kind of Eeyore. Listen, we knew this was going to happen. I think a lot of Toprak fans didn't want this to happen, but it is what it is. Toprak has mentioned this himself, too. He mentioned this in a recent launch where he was like, there's going to be time that I will need to acclimate and get used to things. He's basically been struggling in the first test to like really understand how to ride this bike. He said, I'm doing all the things that I do when I was on a super bike and it's just not working. And it's like, well, sure, that's why.
What is the difference?
I don't fucking know, dude. You think I care about Superbike?
No, I was just wondering.
Sorry.
One's really great. One's super.
One's super and one's moto.
All right.
That's all I got.
Well, that's all you need.
They are different bikes. And, you know, like Yamaha is working on this V4. So it's like, that's already like individual in its own way. Allegedly, not even allegedly, Toprak told the press this, that Jack Miller said, you have to ride this bike like a Moto2 bike. Another bike Toprak has never ridden.
That's my king. That's my goat.
For once in my life, I'm glad Jack Miller is here. That's it. You will have a place in 2026 to me just for that comment, Jack Miller.
It's like a Moto2 bike.
A surface level, great advice.
Great advice.
You think on it for 30 seconds and you're like, that's a bitch. I respect that. He said, fuck you, new kid.
He's going to give him a swirly.
Yeah. Jack Miller, you can stay. Thank you.
You've earned your keep for this season.
In this regard, I will give Jack Miller a rose. Toprak also said that he'll be adjusting for the first 5 races. He was, I think, 19th by the end of the test. And he was like, it was really hard to see myself in 19th. And I'm like, sure.
Sure, buddy.
Okay. And then a thorn as well as Fabio Quartararo, who is injured and had finger surgery because he crashed.
Yeah, just his poor little finger.
Poor little guy.
Which finger was it?
I don't know. 1 of the 10. I can say that with certainty. In addition to roses and thorns, I've introduced a third category.
Okay.
Of a secret third thing.
Stems.
No, the category is secret third thing.
Oh, okay.
Not a rose, not a thorn. Secret third thing.
Got it.
Where they're not happy, they're not sad. Secret third thing. In the secret third thing category, first we've got Bez. Bez, who I love with my heart and soul, is also a bitch. I say with affection. and hates the press.
So he's not giving us anything?
It's not that he's not giving us anything. It's that the things that he gives us are said and delivered, and even in the written word, can be understood with such a tone of fuck you. It's great.
Okay.
I love him for this. So Bez, basically, the gist of his post-test 1 reaction is that he thinks that the Aprilia in 26 is all around better.
Great.
But not by much.
Okay.
So now you understand the secret third thing category.
It's real highs
It's a
and
real
lows.
middle of the road.
Yeah.
He said, quote, I think, to be honest, in MotoGP, not just for us, obviously Aprilia, we always talk about minimal differences. Therefore, it's also difficult for me to give a sincere answer to all of you. Fuck you. Because in the end, it's very difficult to explain. I love him so much. He said, 1, you guys are asking about too many little things.
You guys are doing too much.
2, you're stupid, and I don't like explaining it. And 3, I don't want to.
He is giving tenured professor.
Yeah.
He's like, can you talk to my TA?
Yeah.
His TA is Saba in this case.
No, his TA is Jorge Martin.
True.
Oh my goodness. God, press have been like, you have to be nicer to us. And he's like, I do have to be nicer to you guys. And then he won't.
I think, and like the press kind of has a crush on Bez usually.
Yeah, they're jealous. They want,
That
what do we
cookie.
say? Yes. Stop. Pedro Acosta described himself as 6 out of 10 happy. Secret third thing.
Are we in press conferences or therapy?
Both.
Okay. 6 out of 10. Great.
He specifically has mentioned that, the KTM looks better than it did last year. He feels like they're in a better spot than they were this time last year, all of which are good things. But there were, quote unquote, things that came up during this test that they need to figure out.
But like, yeah.
No one's specific in testing. No one is.
Like, here's the thing though, is like, we're all just playing a game.
Right.
We know that you can't say anything, and you know that we have deadlines and word counts to meet.
Yeah.
So like, let's yes and each other.
God, we need more yes-anding in sport.
We do.
We really do.
You know who is the champion of yes and?
Who?
Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen yes ands only when he wants to. He is not an equal opportunity yes ander. Max Verstappen said, I woke up in the mindset of yes anding and everyone has to yes and me. He is not a responsive yes ander.
He is a yes and fuck you.
He's like, I'm yes anding. I don't give a fuck if you're yes anding.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Last participant in secret third option is Jorge Martin, who surprisingly had some good medical news. He has been cleared to travel to Buriram for test number 2, where he will be evaluated again to see if he's cleared to test. Secret third option.
If you can't be cleared outright to test.
Well, it's more that his personal doctor said, yeah, go to Buriram.
Got it.
And MotoGP is going to have to evaluate him. Couple of things outside of testing for MotoGP. We did have an official 2026 season launch.
We did.
And I specifically wanted to mention a dear friend of the pod,
our queen,
Renita, who was hosting it.
She did such a good job. She's been everywhere.
I loved it. I think she had such like a good rapport with everybody. It was so fun. Honestly, it kind of felt like everybody kind of matched the energy of the evening.
Everybody was on the same wavelength for once.
I agree. I thought it was so fun. I love that she's just doing her thing everywhere. Renita, we're so pleased.
We're so proud of you. Number one
It
fans.
was in Kuala Lumpur.
It was.
I think they were originally looking somewhere else, but their schedule just didn't work out. And then here's the thing that I want to touch on. They did a bit of a street presentation. So they had the fans like lined in the street, and then the riders all like basically rode their bikes up the street and then did their little interview with Renita and then went in and stuff happened. It was fun. Things were cool. Mark was drifting his bike and it looked rad. but I worry this is a backdoor. Look how cool it is to see MotoGP bikes on a road.
Who was it that was like, oh, I'm totally not in control of the bike?
Pedro Acosta.
Yeah.
He basically was like, the brakes don't work, which is awesome for a track in a street where there are walls everywhere.
And people.
I mean, assuming if they did want to do a street track, there wouldn't be people lining it. But
I just don't foresee. You just can't have the runoff that's necessary.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to kind of backdoor this appetite of like, look how cool it was. Mark was drifting. Bikes look really slick on a street track. And it's like, because there's oil everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was cool. Mark drifting was funny because Ducati was like, keep it chill. And he immediately said, actually, I'm going to drift it.
Yeah. Which, hot.
Right. Villainous even.
Love.
Reuters covered it. I thought this was funny and called it glitzy.
I don't know if that's the
adjective I would use.
I would have used. I want to talk about the band at the end.
Oh, the script?
Yeah.
Icons of the early 2010s.
Not even the 2010s, like the 2006s.
I'm sorry. I can't believe you're maligning the creators of Man Who Can't Be Moved like this.
I have no idea what that is. Sorry. I specifically want to talk.
Sorry. There's a song titled Man Who Can't Be Moved by the Script, and it is iconic, and I am shocked you've never heard it.
I'm sure I've heard it, and I just don't know that's what it's called. Hang on.
Play it right now.
I'm pulling it up. It's giving big Hall & Oates vibes.
Honestly, it is so of an era to me.
I'm sure. What is the script? That is their top song. Okay.
Break Even, also huge.
I know Break Even. I know Hall of Fame.
Right.
Okay.
I think you know for the first time. 2008 is the album, self-titled. The whole album is so good. Wow, I guess I'm going to go and listen to this now. I can't believe you don't know them. This is breaking my heart. Anyways.
I do know them. I just don't know the song. The thing I want to talk about with the script is Pecco's air drumming.
Yes, go on.
Not much can endear me to this man, but that did.
You're having your moment where you're like, actually, I kind of like him. I had this moment 2 years ago where I'm like, you've got me.
There's something about a flop fail man air drumming.
Compels me.
That compels me. I don't know if I'm all the way there.
You don't have to be, because he's going to flop soon enough.
That's true. I encourage everyone to go see him air drum.
I just am like, white men at concerts, you never know what you're going to get.
You really never know.
And that's all I'm going to say on that.
That's all it needs to be said.
Couple of things on contract commentary.
It's contract time.
Jorge Martin maybe has done the smart thing for once in his life. I know. Shocking. I'm shocked too. He kept his mouth shut.
He moved in silence?
Someone asked him, obviously you've seen all this stuff about the Honda and Yamaha contracts and Fabio Quartararo. What do you think? What are your plans? And he very neatly, and I think not forcefully, but close to it,
firmly
said, I'm not talking about that.
No comment king.
I'm seeing reporting. I get it. Things are moving quickly. My focus is on 2026. I'm here at testing. It was the right answer.
Yeah, good for him. Was he at testing?
Yeah, he was there.
He was there.
Last thing is that Alex Marquez, I think last week, said that he'd make a decision before the first round.
Well, at least he's not dragging it out.
Right. God forbid you sign a contract after the first race of the season. Well, I'll be old by then.
If he's going to be stupid.
Be stupid now.
I'd rather him be stupid sooner rather than later so I can just make peace with it.
Also, I think everyone's going to be stupid.
Right.
So at least we're all in it together.
We're all in this together.
Exactly. But my concern is that since last week, all of the hubbub, it has been dreadfully quiet. So I'm nervous. Mark me down as nervous.
Scared and horny.
Neither of those things. Nervous. So we go into Burr Ram testing. That'll happen. We'll probably discuss.
What happened at Burr Ram testing last year?
I don't know, Zoe. What did happen?
Jorge Martin entered the karmic cycle.
The torture nexus?
Yeah.
I do also, this is just me thinking thoughts, as I do sometimes.
This is your space to think thoughts.
I'm watching the Olympics. I'm sure you're watching some of it as well.
There's something we need to talk about with the Olympics.
Go ahead.
Well, Valentino Rossi
Was in the Olympic opening little movie.
as a trolley driver.
And he nailed that shit.
He looked so cute. He was giving Grand Budapest Hotel.
He was giving the Polar Express.
Yes. I just also really want a meme of him and the trolley problem.
You know he'd be running over those bitches.
He would try and kill both tracks.
Yes. He would. He'd
And
say,
good for him.
I'm going down the first one, then I'm backing up, going down the second one.
And then backing up again so it's equal.
Right. And then going my way.
Yeah.
Viva la figa.
And that's the message that is really about the Olympic spirit.
And say that.
The Olympic experience. Viva la figa.
But I think it's fun, like, watching the Olympics and being like, yeah, there's no fucking way motorsport could ever fit into this.
Oh my God, no. No.
Do I wish it could? Yes.
I think that if it doesn't make sense, no. But if it were to go anywhere, it should be in the Winter Olympics because those are the deadly dangerous sports.
I mean, seasonally, I feel like it would go summer, but I understand your categorization.
Right? Like the Summer Olympics is like, how far can you run? How high can you jump? How
Can your horse dance?
can you?
Am I wrong?
No. Can you sail a boat?
Can you swim? Can you swim longer? Can you swim longer than that?
Can you do different kinds of swimming?
Can you swim and take turns?
Can you jump into a pool?
Can you jump into a pool together?
Can you swish a ribbon around like a kitty cat, playing with the kitty cat?
It's a great question.
And then at the Winter Olympics, it's like, can you go head first on a slide on ice,
On knives.
on knives at 180 miles an hour and not die?
And 90 degrees.
Can you ski a bunch and then just start shooting guns?
Actually, one caveat is that in the summer, there is an event that said, can you kill someone cold-blooded?
That's true. There is shooting in both.
Can you do that?
That is so what's so beautiful about the Winter and Summer Olympics is that there is shooting in both.
There's a joke in there about Americans that I'm not going to make.
I was there too. That's where I was. Anyways,
We talked about the Olympics.
curling, baby.
You're obsessed with curling, baby.
I'm
Everyone
obsessed with
am
curling, baby.
obsessed with the U.S.'s freak of nature.
Ilya Malinin.
Yes.
I think we're all obsessed with Ilya Malinin.
Freak of nature. Like, what fell god created him in a lab and sent him to terrorize us?
What's so crazy about Ilya Malinin is that you've got this, like, he looks like he was crafted in a Soviet lab to destroy the United States on ice, but he is from Virginia and he does speak with an American accent.
Yeah, he's one of my people.
And that cracks me up. Like, he looks like he was sent by Gorbachev.
Yeah, the ghost of Gorbachev.
Right.
These are the 2 weeks in which I will root for Northern Virginia. Otherwise, in all ways, boo novo. Moving on, we've talked about the world and international shit. Where do we have to go, Zoe?
The great wide world of motorsports.
Yeah.
Where should we start? Ludashian wheel? Ludashian reel?
This is the question everyone's asking.
I don't know if you know this, but the big game happened.
Yes, we will discuss.
But he was at the big game
With Kim,
with Kim Kardashian.
which is crazy.
It's crazy to me.
And like, I think they're actually dating.
I think they're actually.
That's the craziest part. I think they're actually
I know we
dating.
had like a tee ha ha about it last week, but like I think they're actually dating.
I think they're actually dating. This is crazy.
So I don't know where to go from here.
We got to move on. I can't sit in this.
I can't linger on Ludashian.
Let's get into something that's fun. F1 manufacturers being petty as fuck.
They have been.
They've been on one.
They have been on one.
And specifically, my team, Red Bull.
Yes.
What has pretty much taken the community by storm in the last week.
The paddock, if you will.
We're not there yet.
The spiritual paddock.
The metaphorical paddock, the paddock in which that we are in but is not physically existing.
The paddock in the sky.
Right. Sure. We have talked about before that Mercedes is rumored to have kind of found a loophole in their engine construction. We've known this for a while. However, what is new is that all of the manufacturers, other than Mercedes, are kind of combining their forces together to go to the FIA to lodge like a protest in this like engineering marvel that Mercedes is so proud of, and say, hey, this is like against the rules, and we're at the beginning of a new regulation term. This is kind of unfair. We're starting new regs. Everybody should be starting on the same playing field, yada, yada, yada. They all have details of Mercedes' loophole.
How did they get those details?
Great question, Zoe. Streets are saying Red Bull leaked it.
And this is what I love so much is that Laurent Mekies, we've talked about it before, and we'll talk about it again. Laurent Mekies wanted to come in and say, kumbaya, Red Bull.
We're here to make friends.
We're here to make friends. We're here to be good-natured competitors for the love of the sport, neighborly, gentlemanly, sportsmanlike, if you will.
And at every turn, Red Bull.
The culture of Red Bull has just like, it can't be tamed.
And honestly, at this point, I'm like, Laurent, you know who you are. Is he a smokescreen for them?
Oh.
Maybe. Is this his executive strategy?
He's creating a diversion.
By all accounts, Red Bull has known the details of Mercedes' loophole for a while.
I think Max stole them off of Toto's yacht.
I think he texted Susie or Toto. I think Toto, honestly, like...
Yeah. Something happened on the yacht.
So Red Bull's had these details for a while. Allegedly, the only reason they leaked everything to the rest of the grid is because they could not integrate it successfully into their own car, which is so perfect.
Oh my God. I love it so much.
Because they now have that cloud cover of saying, hey, we got this insane information of Mercedes cheating. It is our right, nay, our responsibility,
our duty
to share that with you, the rest of the grid, so that you can go kick up a fuss.
I love it so. I love evil.
I love evil.
I love evil. I love people being nasty and bitchy. I love, because we wouldn't be here if they had figured it out.
No, we would not know this.
We would not know this. We would be finding this out in 18 months, like we did with the tape.
Exactly. We would not know this. And it would be James Vowles and Adrian Newey making some weird little comments to the press in 10 months. And then we would dig and dig and dig, and then we'd all find out. Speaking of comments, Newey has made a comment because Aston Martin had their launch. I can't do it. We're in the season now. I'm done.
We will no longer be speaking of launches.
At the Aston Martin launch, obviously, Adrian Newey was asked about this, and he made a very vague kind of non-committal thing of like, people are talking. Hopefully, like, it'll get resolved before we go to Melbourne. He specifically said every manufacturer but one is aligned on a solution.
So that is Mercedes.
Obviously.
And the solution is to not let Mercedes do it.
Right. Toto Wolff has said...
What did Toto say?
You should get your shit together, speaking to engineers at everyone else's manufacturers.
He said, at everyone, get your shit together.
Which I don't necessarily disagree with, but babe, you got caught now. This is how it works. You shouldn't have seeded all of those rumors in the press.
Right.
So then Red Bull shouldn't have gone digging.
Exactly. It's a monument to your own hubris.
Exactly. Speaking of, great segue. According to bookmakers, bookies, colloquially, George Russell is the overwhelming favorite for the title this year. And my response to that is,
thank God.
Which bookies? And why are they all named Momo and Rossi?
It's Ripsy.
Susie. I don't know. Oh. I'm just like, where did they come from?
Who is this bookie with a curly mustache and glasses named Momo Golf? With 2 Fs.
And an alarmingly German accent.
And you know what? I can only hope and dream and pray. Because if it's not Max,
I can't be Lando. I can't do this again.
I can't do it again. So you know what? I'll throw my hat in the ring for
Sure.
a George Russell championship. I'll take it.
I won't because the universe listens to me.
That's true. That's true. You have a special relationship with the universe. And we've known this.
It scares me.
I know.
Anything else in the great wide world of motorsport before we jump into our last section?
I want to talk about the big game, and I want to talk about the surprise guest that graced my Delta screen during the big game.
Oh, you watched on the plane?
I did.
Interesting.
So I'm just there. I'm on my Delta screen. I'm half watching, half typing on my computer, and all of a sudden I hear a certain Monegasque accent during a commercial.
Who was it?
Charles Leclerc.
I believe it's Charles Leclerc.
In an ad with Lady Gaga, Trevor Noah, the most random assortment of celebrities I've ever seen in my life. Why? About Pokemon.
My understanding of the brand value of that is that these are celebrities that actually like Pokemon.
Does Charles like Pokemon?
He plays video games, dude. In a crowd of what? Aside from Lady Gaga and Trevor Noah, which whatever. A crowd of celebrities aged 25 to 30. I don't think you can say any of them don't like Pokemon.
That's true.
That is the age group for Pokemon.
It was very much giving Pokemon Go to the polls.
Honestly, I liked it as a commercial. I thought it was funny.
I could not get over my shock of Charles being included.
Unfortunately, we are a fraction of that audience.
That's true.
No, last thing on the Pokemon thing. I think it was really funny because I was watching it with my friends and only one of my friends watches F1 and we both screamed and we're like, what the fuck is he doing here? Because Charles does really feel like just some guy that we know. And I know that's not true, but it's F1 in a way is still a very niche sport.
But also it's his branding, his ad partnerships are private planes and yachts and, Richard Mille and these very high-end brands. I think that's what was so surprising to me is that it seemed just very out there for him.
I think, and I see why you say that because, yeah, Pokemon and private jets are not peers.
They should be.
But I think it's such a genuine pairing for him, the person, as opposed to him, the brand.
Yes.
That it really works.
I see.
It's a genuine thing. I don't know. I thought it was really fun.
My response to it was very much a dog who just heard the word walk.
Yeah. My friend and I screamed.
We're
and our other friends were like, who was that? Guess he drives F1. But I thought it was funny. I liked it.
Also, Cadillac was there.
Cadillac was there and used a snippet from a JFK speech about NASA and space. Did you notice this?
I did notice this.
Cadillac did exactly what they set out to do with this ad because every single thing that someone in person or online said about this ad was, wow, one, didn't know Cadillac was going to F1 and now I do. And two, I guess I'm a Cadillac fan now. That really got me. And so I think they did exactly what they needed to do, which is announce that they were in F1 and capture the hearts and minds. And listen, JFK and space is a really great way to do that in America.
It's very much if you wanted to tap into the core of the one day a year where people feel they're most American.
Also during the Olympics.
During I think Lilly, the pharmaceutical brand, had another commercial that was very similar to this, where it was it wasn't a Super Bowl commercial, it was a Olympics commercial, but they were on directly after it, where they were talking about the scientific method because they're a pharmaceutical brand. They research how to fuck people over for a living, but how to develop new drugs. And then they compared it to the trial and error and journey that Olympic athletes have to go through over and over again to perfect their sports. And it was very much when you can rely on this era of American exceptionalism, it's hard to argue with. You can't argue against JFK and NASA and the space race as an era of history to be proud in. Obviously, there were issues with it, but overwhelmingly, I think the American mind share, it sits positively. So I think it's meeting the moment.
I agree. It's you don't even have to hear what JFK is saying because his voice is so distinct. On the other hand, I thought it was funny. I think it did exactly what they needed to do. But I'm like, you guys are little bitches.
That's the thing. If you're in the know, I can respect it from an ad and brand and marketing perspective.
I think it's great return on the money you spend on a Super Bowl commercial.
Great return. As an F1 fan, I'm like,
I don't take you guys seriously.
I don't take you seriously at all. Your driver is Checo Perez. I don't take you seriously.
And after all this nonsense back and forth with Ford,
don't take you seriously.
Okay, moving on from the Super Bowl, as I'm sure we all wish to do.
Except Bad Bunny. That was great.
I mean,
we can never move on from that.
Bad Bunny is the only reason that game was successful. Otherwise, it was entirely boring and I think a mid-off, essentially. I want to talk about IndyCar for a second. We've talked about their commercials, which we love.
Love.
And this is another example of IndyCar making video content that fucking slaps.
They're doing it right.
So what they've done to essentially honor or just kind of be like, 26, we're
kickoff.
The year 2026. Right. Kickoff is the right word. They put out a video where they've collected IndyCar drivers. They were given 26 seconds to talk about whatever they wanted. They got zero guidance, zero help, no suggest. What are you doing?
Fucking brilliant.
Okay. Yes, I agree. And they just like put a timer on the screen and we're like, you have 26 seconds, say whatever you want. The rate at which 70% of them stopped talking at 20 seconds is hysterical. And the major outlier is one of them that stopped talking at like 13 seconds.
Yeah.
And they just sat there dead.
And the thing is that IndyCar didn't cut it.
No, of course not.
They let the timer run out, which I really appreciated.
They committed to the bit. And I just want to share some of this standout 26 seconds for me.
Yeah.
Pato O'Ward acting like he's on a dating show.
He gave his Hinge
saying,
profile.
I'm Pato O'Ward. I'm from this town. I have one sister. Like, I'm this zodiac sign. This is how I spend my free time.
I like long walks on the beach.
I think is exactly what he said.
And you know
he
what?
Straight up was like, I like spending time at the beach.
Perfect. No notes.
Right. No notes. Jinx. I specifically loved Scott McLaughlin going in on his indictment of continued Toy Story movies. And by the end of it, he was like, Disney, fuck you.
The man of the people.
Scott Dixon, he just shared his summer, like what they did over the summer. At the very end of his 26 seconds, he just dropped in that he got knighted. And I was like, oh, slay.
Slay King. Knight.
Flex. Knight. Yeah.
Slay Knight. David
Malukas spent 26 seconds talking about a cool water filter he's been into, which, yeah, loved that. Marcus Armstrong made a compelling argument on why the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
And I want to see it.
And then one of my favorites was Rinus VK, who said, and I quote, I like food. Food is in cheese, end quote.
The two things I know about Rinus VK, he likes food and he likes eating pussy. Those are the two things he's known for.
Man likes eating. And I can't blame him for that.
Can't fault him.
Last but not least.
Yes.
This was news to me.
Okay.
There is a man driving an Indy car, and what seems to be his government name is Stingray Rob.
You didn't know about Stingray Rob?
Nope. And I did not know about his wife, Molly, either.
Yeah, it's Stingray Rob.
So you can't keep saying Stingray Rob as if that's all the information you need to convey to me. There's other information I need.
Stingray Rob. What more do you need?
Everything. He did say that he's a chicken farmer.
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. The only thing that would be less surprising was if he was a stingray farmer.
He also called himself, maybe the third thing he said about himself is that he's a C.S. Lewis fan.
He said, I like the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. My favorite was Nolan Siegel, who looks like he was born 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
He looks like an infant.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed Joseph Newgarden kicking it off strong and being like, My house is frozen.
Yeah, like, I think that's what was so fun about it is it's like they really had to sink or swim.
They set the tone quick.
If nothing else, I think it was one of those moments where it's like, hey, IndyCar marketing team, here are your stars. Like throughout the whole thing, there were people you can work with from like a marketing comms perspective that I thought were really fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That brings us to the grid as ... which for the uninitiated is a moment in our podcast where we categorize a handful of riders and drivers from across the great wide world of motorsport as a person, place, thing, idea, and concept in honor of the Winter Olympics. We're going to do Winter Olympic sports. I will remind you, you did say that Marc Marquez was biathlon as his cozy winter activity.
Well, and that's great because in my head, I know exactly what I was going to say. I'm starting with Marc.
Shock of all
He's that
shock.
event. I can't remember what it's called, but he's that event where they ski and then shoot.
So you're keeping your answer.
Yes. Alternatively, I think if you're looking at Marc and Alex together, they're the double luge.
100%. 100% they're the double luge. 100%.
I also think that the VR46 Academy is ice hockey. And specifically, they are Canada this year because Valentino Rossi is their aged old dog, Sid Crosby.
Yeah.
And just because we're having fun here, I think Luca Marini is a goalie.
I can see it. It's the eyes.
Right? It's there's something deeper happening there in a way that no one else is.
It's unsettling, to say the least.
This one's a little fun, and I'm still learning who Toprak is, so bear with me. I think Toprak is one of those ice dancers that used to be a single, like, men's solo competitor, and in the last year or so has found an ice dancing partner and is like,
ooh,
now at the Olympics.
I see.
Those are my picks.
Okay, Kimi Antonelli is the curling baby.
Yeah. George and Lewis are the youngest USA curling team.
Yeah.
Ever, which is very exciting this year. They might be getting a first gold medal for USA in curling since 2018.
Cadillac as a whole is the American bobsled team that all fell out of the bobsled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then finally, I think Lewis Hamilton is Nordic combined, which is Nordic combined, an Olympic discipline since 1924, is a unique blend of cross-country skiing and ski jumping. So he wants to fuck off and then jump.
Is that the official definition of Nordic combined?
According to the Olympic website.
Fuck off and jump?
Yep, fuck off and jump.
I think Bez would be a good snowboarder.
You know what? I think
he does snowboard.
Bez was supposed to be a snowboarder.
Yeah.
Like that's what he was categorized as before he was like the stork was sent out and he just got mixed up.
That's definitely what happened.
Anyways, I guess that brings us to the end of the podcast. Make sure to like, share, rate, review, engage with, comment on, follow, any and all of the above on the podcast to help us grow. We really appreciate it. And then come hang out with us on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok. And let's keep chatting soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.